Hi, folks. Welcome back to the Shifting Schools podcast. My name is Tricia Friedman, and this is our first episode in the month of May. If you've been listening to the Shifting Schools podcast for a year, you might remember that last May we launched a micro May month challenge where we gave folks access to a bunch of different mega prompts for generative AI, and we hoped to set our listeners up with a challenge to experiment. We wanted to do something similar for this May. So each week of the month, you will hear myself or the always brilliant Jeff Udick share a resource with you as a means to just invite you to get a little more playful, experimental, and curious. So it's my honor to kick off this month-long journey and just looking at ideas, seeing what might work, and then thinking about how you could contextualize it for your community. So the resource that I'm going to point you to is actually a mashup of two resources. One of them is a few years old now from the Shifting Schools community, and one is brand new. Really, what I was trying to do is see how I might take one of our most popular, all-time most popular free guides and make a companion bot for it. So about 3 years ago, we launched a free guide that's called Crafting the Story of Our Learning. Jeff and I also did a free webinar on this guide, and its intention is to help teams of educators get together towards the end of the school year, and each person really works on crafting a mini story that works as a reflection on the year. We know that taking that time to reflect, we know that time of listening to one another, especially listening to one another's stories, can be extremely valuable. And at the same time, putting a story together can be a really daunting task. So that free guide has a whole bunch of frameworks and prompts and provocations that's meant to help people work through that process in a condensed period of time. And when we say you're sharing a story, we're talking about something that could probably be shared in a few minutes. It's not necessarily putting together a blockbuster length narrative. And I was thinking, okay, when we saw the hundreds and hundreds of downloads of that free guide and we received feedback on the free webinar of how to use it, it was a signal. I might even be as bold as to say that it seemed like people really loved that activity. And I could imagine how actually, with the help of generative AI, we can take an activity like that, we can take a bundle of resources like that a little bit further. So in the show notes, you will not only find the link to that free guide, but you're also going to find a link to a free GPT chatbot who's called, I should have come up with maybe something a little bit shorter, but the name of the bot is Crafting Your Story as an End of Year Reflection. It's a bot to coach you through building that story. And if you open up the bot, you'll notice that there are two preset buttons. One of them says, hey, let's reflect on an important story that you should archive from this academic year. You could click that. The bot will begin to engage you. Or you've got another bot that's need help with structure, and it's going to walk you through that process. So we'd invite you to take a look at the free guide, or you can just go directly to the bot and ask it about questions in the free guide and experiment with the extent to which that bot helps you do that critical reflection and makes you feel more confident in sharing your story with your team. And when we say the word team, that could even just be one other member of your department, one other teacher who you like working with. As always, Jeff and I love hearing back from listeners. So if you experiment with either of those tools, we'd love to hear from you. The email address is in the show notes as well. Okay, folks, this kicks off our month of week by week, just a little something to play and experiment with. Happy May, folks, and happy storytelling.
Hey there, dedicated listener. If you've made it this far, we know you're passionate about shifting the way education works. And Tricia and I appreciate you. If you loved what you heard today, we'd be so grateful if you could take a moment to rate and review Shifting Schools wherever you listen to podcasts. Those ratings help us reach even more educators just like you. And if you know someone who could benefit from these conversations, please share this episode with them. Just one person. Think of the impact we can make together. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter for even more great content. And if you haven't already, join us at Camp Shifting Schools, where the conversations keep going long after the podcasts end. Thank you for being a part of this journey, and thank you for being part of Shifting Schools.